Bismillah wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah thumma amma ba'd. Continuation with the explanation of Quran. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ووصى بها إبراهيم بنيه ويعقوب يا بني إن الله اصطفى لكم الدين فلا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. And when Abraham left a bequest to his children and Jacob, saying, O my children, never you die except as being Muslims. So Allah Azza wa Jal is reminding us of this wasiyah that Abraham left for his children. As children are Isaac and Ismail. And Isaac gave birth to Jacob. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he gathered his children, and then Jacob was there. He was very young at that time. He is his grandchild. And he told them all about this wasiyah. He said, make sure you fulfill this my request. So wasiyah is a piece of information that you give to your family or your relative just before you die. Sometimes it should be written, sometimes it should be told verbally. Sometimes it is obligatory. For example, what happened to Umar ibn al-Khattab when he was dying. He called Abdullah, his child, and he told him, make sure you pay off my debt before the janazah, before my burial. And at that time, he was indebted about 86,000 dirham. It is close to about 50 million naira today. So you can imagine the Amir al-Mu'mineen, the leader of believers, whom the governors are under him. He paid them salaries, yet he has this debt upon him. So Abdullah had to sell some of his properties, such as his estate, before he paid off this debt. And then sometimes it is mustahab. It is mustahab when you give out 1/3 of the entire wealth. That is 33%, or you can give 20% or 10% or 5%. Rasulullah sallam says, "Athuluth." The limit, the maximum, it should not exceed 33%. So it is makruh when you give out the charity higher than that 33%. And it is haram if you deny any of the heirs his own rights. Maybe somebody or your child is entitled to half of the wealth, 50%, and you say he should be given 60%, or he should be given 40%, denying him what Allah Azza wa Jal has given him. So Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who shares inheritance, and He has shared everything accordingly. So it should be followed the way it should be followed. That is wasiyah. So Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, وَوَصَّى بِهَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ بَنِيهِ وَيَعْقُوبَ. So Abraham, he had no debts, but he takes important the issue of Tawheed. So the wasiyah is given his children. Is saying that he should stick to Tawheed, stick to the religion of Islam. So at that time, Jacob was very young, and he was among them, and he called Isaac and the son of Isaac, as well as Ismail, and he called them, and he told them this wasiyah. He said, make sure you take this very serious. And one thing with wasiyah is that, brothers and sisters, we should take it very serious. When somebody is ascertain that he will die, any information you give your children or your family members, at that moment they take it very, very serious. That is why the Sharia made it obligatory that you should make sure you talk about your debt. Because if you go to the grave with debt, then it is a big problem and you'll be punished about it. وصى إبراهيم بنيه ويعقوب يا بني إن الله اصطفى لكم الدين فلا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. And this ayah also tell us that all the prophets were Muslims. None of them was a Jew, none of them was a Christian. In fact, Judaism came after Jacob. That is, Jacob gave birth to his children, and one of them was Judah, and that is when Judaism began. And Christianity only started after Jesus Christ. So Islam has been since then, since before their coming. And that is why Jacob, and that is why Abraham, stressed this importance. He told his children, make sure before you die, you become Muslims. Make sure you die upon Islam and never you change this my wasiyah. O Allah forgive us and grant us complete guidance.